record. And we are recording. Hello, everybody. I am excited to be here. Laura Buckles is on. And today's topic is just a review of how do you run a virtual appointment? How do you do a one-on-one session or maybe a couple of people? Let's just recap. What is a facial? What is a party? A facial or a double facial is just two people, 1 to 2 people. Party would be 3 or more. Not too much difference in what we do. There just might be a little bit more of a game approach, or maybe a little bit more of an engagement kind of questions, so that you can just let people start to feel loosey-goosey. I like to use that phrase. So let's start with if you just have a one-on-one. I did a couple of these this last week, and I tried to do a FaceTime. I just didn't feel that I was flowing very well. So I will tell you that when you practice this, that's actually why I want you to get on the phone and call those 50 people that you have on your list and say, hey, I'm just so excited to learn how to do these virtual facials, and I really need some practice. Is there any reason why I couldn't do a little fun sesh with you, and you can have a little coupon for anything you might see? You can give them a little 20% coupon for one item. You can give 50% off coupon for one item, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Don't give away the store, but I've always felt that it's important to appreciate and to give back. So for me, let me just tell you how I've always handled it, just because it's easy in my mind. When I meet people, I say, oh my gosh, I need another face for this week. I'm tracking my goal of 3 + 3 + 3. It's super fun, no obligation. My little phrase is, if you love it, great. If not, no big deal. But for your feedback, at the very end, I have a survey, and you get a $15 shopping spree on anything you want. Then she says, oh, okay, that sounds easy. And at that point, I say, you know, Laura, it's just as easy for me to practice on you as it is for you to have 2 or 3 friends. And I'll let you have double when you invite at least 2 friends that are non-Mary Kay. Who are you thinking of inviting? Now, immediately I have them start saying people, because I want them to think, not of, oh, that girl, she never wears makeup, or that girl, she would never say yes. I don't want her thinking that. I want her to think of who is she inviting. So I ask her, and I just have her start naming people. I say, oh my gosh, great. Okay, now text me their names, and I'll send them the link. And so then I'm coaching her to think of more than 2, because 2 might say they have plans and they can't make it. So we always overbook. So that's how easily, when I'm just meeting somebody. And in the Mary Kay world, when you're meeting somebody, you might hear people say warm chatter. I can't stand that word. Of course, I still say it. I just don't like the connotation. I've always felt that it is networking. And my take on how I network, I'll teach you another time, but I call it my pink hug. I have a goal every day of having pink hugs. So that's sort of the you might hear me say that instead of warm chatter. But you have the date. Now it's upon us. What do you do? I have given you a lot of tools. We're just going to review where you find them. And you might want to edit them. That is fine. There's a couple of things that when we talk about full circle that are really important. And I'm sorry I don't have my visual right now. If I go into my computer, I could probably find it. But if, we just look at full circle, what the heck does that mean? When we say full circle in our party, there are a couple of key objectives. The first objective is to sell a skincare set. So we're going to present for what we want people to say yes to. So really get clear on what skincare set you love the most, or what you, sometimes it's irrelevant what you love. You may not even love a specific skincare line. The customer doesn't need to know that it's not your favorite. You can talk about why it's worked wonders with Lauren. and why she is all about pure and natural. And our Naturally line has been such a blessing for Lauren. It's not my favorite, but it's Lauren's favorite. So you can be transparent, but you don't have to be losing a customer by saying that you don't use it. The point is, there are some things that might not work for us, but are going to be the best thing ever to somebody else. So always think of what are the benefits, but when I share with my clients, I try to use more stories. Stories sell, facts tell. So yes, you do need to have some facts on your little reminder cheat sheet. Now, as we're talking virtually, because here we are, if you're watching this a little later, it is July 2020. We are in the midst of COVID, and my governor just announced that they're shutting back down hair salons and they're shutting back down gyms. So this is not going to go away anytime soon. Even though in your starter kit, you get a flip chart, and on that flip chart are words, you can write on it, great. Please study that. If you purchased the eBiz for $30 and you don't have a flip chart, Mary Kay has a wonderful accessory kit for $75, and you can get all of those papers and the things that come in the starter kit that you weren't able to do initially. But for those of us who have not really taken out the flip chart lately, pull it back out. The flip chart is what we're doing, just with a PowerPoint slide. Now, I mentioned that I was doing FaceTime and it didn't really work. It would have been fine if I had my flip chart. But because I put my flip chart away and I was thinking of being virtual, I got a little, like not just tongue-tied, I, tripped over my feet a little. And she was so sweet. She said, you know what, would you like for me just to go on Zoom? And I said, yes, please. And once we got on Zoom, it was like I got my rhythm again. So Full Circle is showing the specials or the sets and selling a set. So our goal is, of course, throughout the whole party, you'll hear us do a couple of things so that we can get the second objective. So we want to sell skincare sets. We want to book follow-on parties. So how do we do that? During that presentation, you're going to hear me say, if we were live and I was using the flip chart, almost every single page, I would say, now at your second complimentary appointment, at your second checkup from the neck up, at your second glamour appointment, at your second session, you're going to hear me say at your next session, at your next session, next, second. That way they know we're scheduling a second. It's like, no, there's no question, it's a done deal. That second appointment, because part of the Full Circle to get that second booking and to turn the second booking into a party, you want to master your art of referrals. So we've got a couple of games that we have played. Now, when you have one person versus 3 or 5, or now with digital, you might have 20 people, it's all good. That mastery has to be done a little bit different. And the reason I say that is if we were face to face, she can't run away and not participate. With the virtual, there's a little bit more wiggle room. So you've got to just, from my experience, we have to just pivot simply so that we can still capture the referrals that then can turn into bookings with friends. So sell sets, book your second appointment. And the third one is, so sell sets, book, sell, book, of course, that's the second, recruit. So the last part of working Full Circle is, did you schedule an actual Q&A, or what we would call a peek into pink chat? Some people have called it a perks and benefits chat. That script is, of course, in your, well, it's very much a script that we taught in the first class when we go through in our welcome packet. There is a script for scheduling your pearls of sharing. And this is, again, helping you with your pearls of sharing. And we're going to go over that. Okay, so that's sort of the process of Full Circle. So let's dive in. I have set up a PowerPoint slide. One last thing. Before Zoom became my modus operandi, I did for years and years and years phone facials. Number one, I really had a hard time going video. I didn't want people to see me half the time. Honestly, the reason I love this business is half the time I am in my workout clothes and I have not put on a Mary Kay face. Don't let that hold you back from being successful in Mary Kay. What we do is irrelevant to our appearance. Yes, when we're outside and we're, maybe conducting a meeting, let's try to dress for it. That does not mean that every day, every hour, you have to apologize if you're being real. That's my goal as I move up. I love, as a Pink Cadillac director, I would be in my ponytail, my workout clothes. Now, my skin was looking killer. I didn't have on makeup, but I just threw on some lip gloss. Come on, girls. We can do that at least. And I don't have to apologize because my skin's looking great. Now, I'm not going to go hold a party like that. I try not to do deliveries like that, but there are times that I have done a delivery on the way home from the gym. And I think that number one is, if that's the only way people know you, then you need to brush up your image because you might not be attracting people to you. But don't apologize. You can simply say, isn't it great? Just always turn it into a question. Isn't it great? Or, it is a question. Isn't it great that I can be at home taking care of my family, but still loving on people through the phone and, of course, virtual? That's what we do. We love on people. So if that's where your heart is, you have a wonderful future ahead of you with Mary Kay. It has nothing to do about makeup. But I did phone facials for years. How I did that, and maybe that will be something you might want to do sometime. I think it's great. Here's how I did it. We would be, speakerphone. And then while I was talking to her about the Repair skincare line, I would be texting her pictures that were in my album. So every picture that I'm about to show you inside my PowerPoint slide, I also have it in my album on my phone, and I named my album SCC, Skin Care Class. So at any time, I can easily say, oh yeah, let me make sure it's here. Before I say that, I believe it's here. But I can say, oh yeah, the charcoal mask, you should see. Yeah, here it is. I can say, oh, let me tell you what's in the charcoal mask. And I can text her this or this as I'm talking about it on the phone, and I'm in my PJs and I've got my mask on and it's all good. So I have worked this business for years, and that's why I love this business. So just arm yourself. The pictures are easy to store. If when you see a picture anywhere in the digital world, immediately save it in your hard drive under Mary Kay, or picture file under Mary Kay, and then either put it in product, or I have a category for MK products. If it's a sales technique or a sales idea, I have a sales category. So make your categories that would allow you easy duplication. Lastly, I have saved many of these pictures on our Facebook album inside of our Amazing Graces unit. So here again is another picture you'll see referenced, and it talks about the different level of exfoliation for aging and taking away wrinkles and dark spots. So the beginning exfoliation is the brush, microdermabrasion, then you get your peel. And it would be like cleaning goes into the pores of a cantaloupe, but this is like a microplane, and it basically takes the top layer of dead skin. And then the peel is more like a vegetable peeler. It's gonna take off all that damage so that baby skin is more flawless. These pictures do say 1,000 words, so have them at your disposal. So let me just tell you that when I created this, oops, sorry, it's not quite up yet. So I gotta pull it up. So 1 second. Let me just, you're probably seeing everything on my screen. Can you see everything on my screen right now?
No, just the Word document.
Okay. Okay, so then let me resume, resume share. There we go. New share. There, okay. This tic-tac-toe party is technically skincare party. I would say get this, and it is, excuse me, let me, oh, I should probably make sure I do there. Okay, so if you're watching this and you're not sure where to go, let's go ahead right into our Facebook. Okay, so here's our Facebook group. In our units section, you will find all of these things, digital parties. Okay, so you'll see here's my tic-tac-toe party presentation. Okay, so if you don't know where to find it, it's here. And I'll actually update this when we're done with the meeting today. Here's even a script. What do I text to people to have them book virtually? So I'm trying to give everything in this section, including other scripts. So that's where you're gonna find what I'm talking about. And now we're gonna go right into the PowerPoint slide. So when we talk about full circle, I'm gonna reiterate what this piece of paper does for you. Because we are not face-to-face with a opportunity to have them write on their skincare profile, this piece of paper is going to be what they must text you before you hang up on Zoom. It's been brilliant. The tic-tac-toe was created by a top director, and I'm so thankful she thought of it. This is number one, I tell them to make a tic-tac-toe throughout the party. When you see something that you have to have, do you notice I don't say that you like, that you have to have? You write that item in a square. And when you have tic-tac-toe, we're gonna celebrate. I give prizes away when there is a party. I don't really give prizes away when it's just one person, but you can take note if it's two, and you can see the person with the most tic-tac-toes at the end, you know, will get this little sample. Just dress it up. And now let me actually show you something. Well, doggone it, where did it go? Hold on now. I just went to get something and now I don't know where it got shifted to. Hey, that's not fair. Oh, I see it now. I told you I got new blinds, so I think I had to move some things and I forgot about it. Okay, so see this cute little bag with tissue? It's totally empty. Okay, there's nothing in here. But I hold this up at the parties to say, oh my gosh, you're gonna get a fun little swag bag of samples. I have no idea what I'm gonna put in there. I find out what I have laying around when I'm all done. And if I have old product, because I'm a director, I might have some older things that I can rotate. I will give a product away. But just get yourself a cute little bag, make it look pretty. And if they ever say, well, what do I get? You can say, it's a surprise. You get it, you know, when you open it up. I have handy, because we're virtual, I have these handy. Now, they came in your kit, so that's beautiful. If you don't have it, these can be empty boxes. You can also hold up your travel roll-up bag that you should always have ready to show at the end. And you want to have that visual. That's very important. So tic-tac-toe is what you're telling them. They're going to write down what they have to have. Now, then they write number 2, and I have them write 1 through 20. And I don't explain this until the time of the party, but I just say, okay, and over to the side, I want you to write 1 to 20. Then I want you to write number 3. And then I want you to write, I don't even say number 4 anymore. I just say, and then I want you to put M-A-R-Y-K-A-Y, and then I want you to put A, B, C. I'm going to tell you now in case we get short on time. This is your closing sheet. You're going to have them answer 1, 2, 3, A, B, or C. When we do a full circle, we talk about sharing our iStory and the Mary Kay marketing and we're layering, we're planting seeds. When we ask them A, B, or C at the end about their level of interest, we know who to specifically hone in on and invite to be a part of the Q&A. Now, let me throw this out. If you haven't paid attention to what I started 1 July, and I'm going to do this every month, one time a month, I'm giving away a Skinvigorate brush. And I don't just give it away for random people. I give one Skinvigorate brush only, not the massager, to one person who has done a Q&A with me and you. So this is where we are going to practice the closing 1, 2, 3, A, B, or C. At the end of your party, you don't even sign off until you say, okay, everybody, now pick up your piece of paper. So, you know, they have their piece of paper and you say, take a picture and send it to me right now. And you do not hang up until you say, okay, Laura, I got yours, yay. Jen, I still need yours. Go ahead and send me a picture. Okay, great. Send me a picture, Jennifer, or, you know, Carol. So you're getting it back. That's super, super important. I think I'll just tell you instead of going step by step. Number 2 is, of course, our referrals. I started to play a referral game that has been working very well. And there is strategy in when you play the referral game. I would like to tell you that I'm doing these facials without samples. You can, of course, do samples if you like. And it was actually interesting. Here's a little TMI. I had a facial this last week, and I thought I was going to be able to give her a little tray with samples, and I got too busy, and I couldn't drive over, and I had like a little panic attack, like, how do I still invite her on when I didn't give her the samples? And here's what I said to her. I'm just going to read this because I don't remember exactly, but it was good. So I, of course, started the chat. Let me just see. I apologized for not being able to get to her, but I sort of just stepped over it, and it didn't seem to matter. So here's what I said. She gave me her address, expecting me to drop off samples. Well, the morning of, I just couldn't make it. And I said, good morning, beautiful. I'm so excited to get to know you today at 10 o'clock. I'll have to bring your Pink Love package later since I wasn't able to make it, but I can still tell you what specific but you can still tell me what specific samples you would like to try. See you at 10. So I just turned it into a positive. So Mary Kay always taught us to, you know, when you have lemons, just make it into lemonade. So just turn things into a positive. And I said, let's just go over all the new stuff with Mary Kay, and then you can tell me what kind of samples you might want for your Pink Love package. Well, of course, she turned out buying the set, the queen bag. So I don't need to bring samples of those items because we have our guarantee. So the reason I say that is it is absolutely still working amazingly well to do QVC style. The placement of referrals needs to be after you have shared with her the skincare set, microdermabrasion, Skinvigorate brush, and what they're going to get at their second facial. Remember that second session? So we talk a lot about, I have phrased my parties to be pretty simple. I do a skin session. So you can decide if you as a consultant want to teach more skin sessions. I do a hydro session, which is again more spa-like, things that we have that are not makeup. And then I do a glam session. So as you're building your business and you're investing in your skincare and your closing bag, you want to have a skin bag. You want to have a hydro bag, and then you want to have a glamour bag if you want to focus on those 3 different parties. My 4th session would be sort of the advanced, where that is what we do in happy hour. The other advanced session would be Self-Care Sunday, where it might be a little bit off the beaten path, but there's still fabulous products. So basically there's 4 categories that I offer for a second session. Does that make sense? You'll just hear me talk more about Hydro Glam. And that's what I want them to do. And then once they're completed through that pipeline of all the key parties, then they'll be invited to the happy hours and other things. As a consultant watching this, if you're not necessarily feeling comfortable just starting with the skin, we want your sales to, we want you to sell. We don't want you to wait. If tomorrow's a happy hour, invite them. You're just going to see us give a teeny bit at the happy hour to then book them into a skin, a hydro, or a glamour. Does that make sense, Laura? Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3. So 2 is, sorry, I didn't get there. So the reason this is so strategic is I am, let me just show you some of the pictures. And of course, these will be a review for you, Laura, because you've been on. I like to tell them that they can immediately download this app. And because I don't have a picture, I also pull up my e-catalog app because I want them to be able to look at things as we're going through. I'm sorry, I don't want them to look at things. I want them to know where they can reference. So I just tell them these are the 2 apps. Go ahead and download them now. Then I'm telling them a little bit about Mary Kay while they're probably downloading the app. And I'm reading. I don't read every word on this whole page. I just sort of hit on the key ones, but I do read every word on this one. So again, it reinforces why wash your face with Mary Kay. This also, let me back up. Let me tell you, ladies, if you want to be successful and any new person that you bring on, if you can master the Mary Kay story, you are going to be solid in what we really are selling. I think that we are selling equality and hope for women. And how do we do that? By sharing the Mary Kay story. There's a lot of companies out there. There's a lot of skincare out there. We think ours is the best, and we have a top 5 global brand to back that up. More people in the world buy Mary Kay over and over and over again versus any other company. But what is so amazing is the Mary Kay story. If you don't know Mary Kay's story, then number 1 is, this one is in Spanish, but you want to get this out. I read this every year. So powerful. Man, it's so great. But the story that I want you to master is this. It's simple as this. I went to my first Mary Kay party. I thought Mary Kay was sort of like Aunt Jemima and Betty Crocker, fake. No, she was a real person. And what she did for women, she started the Me Too movement way back in the 50s. She started the feminist revolution way back in the 50s. And what happened was, after the war, Mary Kay lost her husband. I know, it's so sad, isn't it? Until you find out that Mary Kay says, yeah, the war between the redhead and the blonde. She had 3 kids, and she found herself as a single mom. It was devastating, but she was smart, and she was hardworking, and she immediately went out and got a job and was performing so well. In fact, she was recognized for all of the amazing teachers or trainers that she had created. However, back then, and unfortunately still today in 2020, men were getting the promotions. And when she asked, why is Johnny getting a promotion when I'm the one who trained him? The response was, well, Mary Kay, Johnny has a family to feed. And she was so frustrated at how women were making 70 cents to the man's dollar. And here we are. Do you know how much women make today in 2020? We're not even higher than 78 cents for the man's dollar after all these years. And Mary Kay said, this is so not what I would do if I was able to create a business. In fact, she wrote everything down about the perfect company that she believes a woman should work for. In this perfect company, you would be praised to success. not told what you did wrong all the time. You would be encouraged, and the company would be operating under the golden rule. In this perfect company, she said there would be Cinderella prizes, not turkey lamps and things that were realistic. There would be diamonds and trips and cars. And in this perfect company, there would not be a ceiling. There would not be any quotas. A woman could put her faith first, her family second, her career third, not worrying about losing a promotion. And in fact, if she didn't want to be moving up, she didn't have to, but the sky would be the limit. Well, everybody thought this was just pie in the sky, except for her son, who said, Mom, you have an amazing marketing plan. I think you should open a company. And she said, what would I sell? Well, Mary Kay was using this product that was designed by a tanner, a man who worked on leather. And he was well into his 70s, but his hands looked like they were 20. And she had loved the skincare. He was a chemist, designed this product, and was a tanner working with it, but he didn't have marketing skills. So she bought the right to his formula, and Mary Kay Cosmetics was born. And that is why when you wash your face with Mary Kay, you're doing so much more for women, because Mary Kay wanted to empower women, and that is our mission. Okay, is anybody here like a little inspired just by that story? So know your story. Say it every single time. My guest the other day reminded me. She said, honestly, I knew the products were good because the reputation and they've been around for a while. I had no idea that that is the story. I want to support this company. She's having an interview tonight. So when you go right into Mary Kay wanted to empower women. I personally believe the biggest woman of them all is Mother Earth. So we have an amazing, and I go into, first I say this, and then I go into our recycling program and all the other things. And then I talk about our foundation. And when you wash your face with Mary Kay, you're making a difference. And lastly, it's not on here. Let me tell you how much more of a difference you're making in countries, in communist countries. Mary Kay is in China, but the Chinese government prohibits families from having more than one child. Until Mary Kay came in. And not only are we empowering women to be able to make money, but women are putting pressure on the Chinese government, and those that have a certain financial wealth are now able to have more children. And that's unheard of, and it's because of Mary Kay. So those stories hit home in the very beginning. So I like to reiterate, to tell people there's 3 ways to get started so that they can choose. And at the end, you can find out which one are they going to feel most comfortable with, because you're asking 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. I tell them the hostess program up front so that they can not worry about purchasing anything. As we go through this, don't worry about anything. I want you to relax, because my goal is to help you get everything for free. I want you to have your heart's desire and not pay a dime. So they already have that little relaxation. Okay, so then I'm going to go into some of these pictures. Now, right now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm going to just tell you that these are the stories. Take your own before and after pictures. Here's a recent client. Excuse me, she's a sales director. She shared her pictures. She was using the repair for, I think she said just a couple months. This one is 1 year. Look at the difference. So I go through the skincare based on my audience. Okay, so if, I might not really talk about every one of the skincare lines if that's not what they are focused on, but I have these pictures, and you can take these pictures. If you just click on it and right click, you can actually save as picture, and then you can save the picture alone into your file. Okay, so as you're going through, I talked about the referral game. I want to do a referral game and closing questions, and then we're going to wrap up. I'm showing all of these things. I'm talking about microdermabrasion. I'm showing some of the pictures. And after this, I talk about the second. These are the things you get to look forward to at the second session. You'll be able to do a hydro appointment and learn more about the peel. We'll talk and maybe even get you a pink love packet so you can try the charcoal mask. and of course the moisturizing gel mask. So then I play the fab game. And that's where I say, okay, ladies, who's feeling fabulous? Who is excited about what they've seen? Who would love to get one of these babies for free? So I tell them at number 2, I'm so excited to get the word out. My goal is having 30 virtual facials this month. So we're going to play a little game. And we're gonna take a couple minutes. Now this is where I would play some music. I would just chime up some music, or I'll do some office work. And I tell them, on your piece of paper, you have a list of 20. When you write down 20 names and phone numbers and texting that back to me today, you're gonna get one of these for free. Now let me explain this. 20 referrals. This costs you $12. You've got to learn and understand what advertising expenses are for businesses. My friends, this is an advertising expense. You're going to give away a $12 item. You're going to put this on your weekly accomplishment sheet as a giveaway so that the money will come back to you when you do your taxes. But that $12 that you have just given her for 20 names is stronger because there is a friend who enjoyed herself connected to that referral. It's not a cold lead. It's not, hi, Jennifer, we've never met. I found your name and number in the phone book. That's what businesses did years ago. But when there's a referral, it's, hey, Jen, I don't know you, but your friend Laura and I just had the most fun Mary Kay pampering, and she thought you would love to have your own beauty session and get a $15 gift card. Are you up for some fun and a free gift? Huh. Now, you can even text that, but this is why it's so valuable. 10 names and numbers today on your piece of paper, you would get this for half off. When you have 5 names and numbers, you can give 25% off, or you can hold up a little mascara sample or a mini eye makeup remover, and you can give one of those away. Your choice. I've just been doing 20 for free, 10 half off, and 5 you get 25% off this product. So then you play 2 to 3 minutes. Now that means you got to keep your eye on the time. And this is why I want you to practice these with some people in your life individually, because then you'll start to go, ooh, okay, I talked too long here. I got to make sure I get all my referrals in. Because after she has a list of referrals, I go back and I say, okay, ladies, I believe you'd be a great hostess. Is there any reason why we can't invite some of those ladies to your second session? Oh, awesome. Okay, good. So I'm going to send you this picture, and you're going to decide before your party, do you want to do hostess credit number 1, 2, or 3? And then I go right into the rest of my presentation, which would be a little bit more what we get to look forward to next if you signed up for a glam session, some of the concealer things that we'll talk about and all the wonderful products. And now I'm ready to do, so I have them write down, do you want to do glam or do you want to do hydro? And then, in fact, this one has 4, but let me take that off. And then I go into M-A-R-K-A-Y. Now, M, this is easy to do. You just read this. I also have a picture. I think I might edit this though and put in the picture. Hold on, let me just find the picture. And the picture, shoot, one second. The picture is way cute. One second. Oh, no, marketing. There it is. I just saw it. Ah. There it is. Sharing. Mary Kay sharing. I had it under the wrong thing. So this is so cute. Can you see that picture, Laura? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I have used, and it's an actual print that I hold up. So I just took a picture. I'll try to get a better resolution for you. But then I say, okay, let me, Mary Kay just asked us to share why women crave this business, especially now with the situation with COVID. M for money, and I'll tell a little bit. Automobiles, recognition, you're the boss, key priorities, advancement, you. And after that, I say, okay, I'm just curious. Circle any of these that sounded appealing to you. And then I'd love for you to tell me A, B, or C. After listening today and learning that you could be starting your own business for only $30, are you A, absolutely in? Would you love to do this with me? B is, I'm curious, buy me a cup of coffee. And C is, nope, would just love to be a customer. Just go ahead and tell me where you might be right now. Okay, great. Now let's go over our specials for today. So that's how I transition immediately. For those of you who had some tic-tac-toes, this is going to be great. These are some ways you can get more deals on the things that you fell in love with. Oh, and what you might want to do after talking about this, now you've got to practice in romance. I don't have time right now to go over all of it, but, well, okay, I do. 1 second. So, got to get some product to display this, and it's going to be a little investment. Now, what you don't know is inside of my travel roll-up bag, which this is called Ida. So everybody say the word Ida with me. Ida. Go ahead.
Ida.
No, that doesn't work. So say hello to Ida. Hi, Ida.
Hi, Ida.
Okay, now she's playing along. Okay, so that's where I say, this is my girlfriend, Ida. Do you want to know what Ida stands for? I deserve it. Oh, and I'm really silly, totally silly. You got to like loosen up a little bit. And this is important. You can say, you know what, here's the deal. I saw Ida and I just had to have the bag. I mean, look at this bag. And so you romance it. You say, you guys, no more fighting over the space next to the sink with your man. You have all of this at your fingertips and you're organized. And talk about saving time. Well, Ida is my best friend because I love her. You can just take the parts of you love and you can leave the parts you don't like. She's transparent and totally, you know exactly what you're going to get. Christine had the cutest little sayings about, I got to go back to my notes. She had some cute sayings about Ida, especially with her 5 kids. So I tell them that this is part of a special and this is how you can get it. If you fell in love with all of the products, then the Elite Cadillac set might be the best because you get a roll-up bag for free and a special gift. I'm giving as a special gift a hydrogel eye patch as my special gift for $40. To me, it's worth it. And we have financing. We have all sorts of ways to pay, all the credit card options in Venmo, and you can earn part of it for free. Then there's the Cadillac collection. Then there's the Queen collection. So you go through each of these. If you notice, this and this are the same. So the savings is better, but there's not as much freebies. So you might want to give, like, if you're giving the hydrogel as a free gift here, you might want to say half off of that free gift here. And then this one is just the roll-up bag for free. And then Princess is any 4 sets. Now, at this point, you have just talked numbers. You cannot leave them with numbers. You got to bring them back to the benefits. Now, if they haven't tried the product on their face, they're not going to necessarily feel the benefit as well. So we go back to, my favorite thing is at your second appointment, we have a 100% guarantee. So if there's anything that you're not loving, if it's not working for you, no worries. You are able to find something that you would prefer, and Mary Kay refunds me. Now, this is when you need to get the pictures back from everybody. So you can turn to this page and say, okay, you guys, so excited. Many of you are gonna be treated as a VIP, but those of you who were so smart and you're excited to get free stuff, we're gonna schedule your appointment, your second appointment. And then if you are somebody who had put A, B, or C down, or you can actually say, and for anyone who wants to find out more about the eBiz, in fact, for having a Q&A with me, and just even if you're not interested, having the, allowing me to practice, you'll go into the drawing for the Skinvigorate brush. So it's not going to hurt you just to listen, but it helps me grow. And all of your questions allow me to learn how to answer them when I am working with somebody who really wants to know how to make the money in Mary Kay. That's when I just sort of click, this is what our options are. This is the starter kit, just in case you're thinking you really want a smart deal. This was the best thing I ever did. And thank you guys so much. Now, at this point, you need to make sure you have everybody's picture before you chime out. But I love Zoom because on Zoom, you can actually do breakout rooms. And you haven't closed individually yet. So forgive me, I only have 5 minutes, but I'm gonna end with this. This is what we call the table close if we were together at the table. But Laura, the individual close is the most important. So if it was just you and me, I would just say, okay, okay, Laura, thank you so much. I'm not done yet because we wanna do the survey. I created a survey and it's digital, but you do not have to create the survey. You do, however, have to read the questions. So you have two choices. You can, of course, open up my survey and read it along. But remember when I showed those pictures of the special? She's not going to have that in front of her unless you text it to her. So number one is you can text it to her or email it to her so that she can pull it right up in front of her during this individual close. This is what you're going to say to, and I'm going to screen share with this. Okay. New share. Okay, so you should be able to see my Word document. Can you see this Word document?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what I normally do, if there's more than 2 people, then I will say, okay, Cindy, there's the breakout rooms, like I mentioned in Zoom. This is so important. If you can prevent them from hanging up, you're going to have a lot more sales. So I tell people, okay, we're going to do, I complete my survey with each of you individually. So I do the breakout rooms. So Jennifer, I'm going to start with you. Everybody else just hang out. I'll come back to you. And then when we're done, we're done. But just don't hang up on Zoom and be close by because it might take about 5 to 10 minutes with Jen. Okay, Jen, you ready? Okay, let me pull you into a breakout room. So it's basically like sitting privately on the couch. And that's what you would do at somebody's house. But since we don't have that, we have to do it this way. Okay. So then we are going to, number one, she has to have this in front of her. You might want to text everybody. If you're using a texting service like I have, then that's where, Laura, you would just text the word Ida to my phone, and immediately you would get this and my special, or this and a little text message from me. So texting services are really awesome. But if you don't have one, then just text this picture. Make sure, again, you saved it in your phone, and you're going to ask these questions. Okay, Laura, this is what gives me credit. Thank you so much. Okay, you ready? I read this with her. Like, I don't want you to think this is weird. If you were live and you had your flip chart, you and I would be reading these together. I would say, okay, I'm going to take the first one. You take the second one, to make it really simple, because the more people who see, this is not hard. You make extra money doing this. Oh my God, I could do this too. Then you're going to see how quickly your business grows. And that's really why McDonald's grew so quickly, because they were able to replicate their system with the very basic level employee. Did you have a good time today? What did you like about our first virtual party? Now, I should probably edit this because this was what we had from our first time. Do you have any recommendations for us? Now, I probably would delete that one. Do you have any questions? Now, I'm smiling and I'm nodding. Very important. Throughout the party, the more you smile and nod and ask questions with your hand going up, the more engagement, the more they buy. Okay, our specials are good for 24 hours when you attend a virtual party. And you can go down. Are you mostly interested in having a one-on-one private FaceTime makeover, or would you prefer to get some discounts for hosting your own tic-tac-toe virtual party like this? I'm gonna redo that. Hold on. This is what I would say instead. Remember how we said 1, 2, or 3? I see you want to do a hydro session next. Would Tuesday the 12th at 8 p.m. work, or is blank better? Book the second appointment first. Then next, her name, Laura. Okay, I'll just say that. Laura, you wrote down a few friends. Notice how awesome how awesome a typer I am. I'm looking right at the camera and I have not made a mistake, right? Now I'm gonna make mistakes. Okay, you wrote down a few friends to a few friends, period. Is there any reason why we couldn't invite them to your session on blank blank blank, question mark? I think you'd be a great hostess. As simple as that. Now, without cleaning the house and all that, it's so easy to do a virtual. And if you don't want to incorporate them into the hydro, what you do is you have her do the hydro and then have the guests come on a little later, okay? You can also just do a totally different day. It's up to you. We have a couple options. We'll have to go over that later. And then you are going to say, da, 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 da. I think I would go back to this one. So I have these a little out of order. So let me just cut this. And isn't it great that we can improve as we go? Okay, our specials are good for 24 hours when you attend a party. Nope, I don't want that either. So this is what I would say. You had blank tic-tac-toes. That is so exciting. Would the Elite Cadillac special be good for you, or is the Cadillac, good for you with the free bag and blank gift, or would the Cadillac bag be better? Whatever you want to do is perfectly fine with me. Shut up. So this is what I'd say, and this is what we call the David Cooper close. So I've got to wrap this up. So our specials are good for 24 hours when you attend. You don't even need to say that. That is not even something I need to say. I just had the script already in my archives. You had 5 tic-tac-toes. It's so exciting. Oh my gosh. So would the Elite Cadillac special be good for you with the free bag and the $40 hydrogel eye patches? Or would the Cadillac bag be better? Whatever you want to do is perfectly fine with me. Look down. Do not stare her in the eye. You look busy doing other things. Whatever she says is what you're going to go with, okay? Now, there's a whole nother lesson on, well, what if she says this? What if she says this? I'm going to have to address that another day because I'm already over. But that is where you close the sale. We're not quite done because, as you remember, the ABC. The 1, 2, 3 was the sale and the second appointment, turning that second appointment into a party because you have referrals, and then the ABC. So then I say, you know, Laura, I'm so excited you were with us today. You're fun. I can't wait to get to know you more. And I saw that you wrote down B. I would really value your feedback. Every single week I have a challenge for my director and I win prizes. And I've actually got to get a couple more Q&As done. Is there any reason why we couldn't enter you into the monthly Skinvigorate brush giveaway? Awesome. It'll take like 20, 30 minutes for myself and my director. I'm just going to listen. So ask really hard questions so I can learn, okay? And if you aren't interested, don't worry. I'll never bug you. I won't be Scary Kay. There you go. The most important thing is you set that appointment up within 3 days. 3 days is when enthusiasm dies. All right, Miss, let me stop my share. I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks everybody for joining us, but I know Laura might have private questions. So y'all take care and